Hi, it's Chris, and welcome back to the C. What do we have on the show today? Today we're featuring two products. Well, one product and something I bought from a very special person in the old land of the China that I've bought many times before. A trusted reseller of, you'll see. In this box is this. This is the TerribleFire TF4060. And it's got some science and some 2.5-inch IDE and Xilinx and a bunch of RAM, and it's the latest and greatest from Mr. SJ Leary. What is going in this? Well, that's where my next box comes into play. I bought myself a Revision 6 68060 from Motorola, and it looks very good. It's supposed to be a Rev 6, but there's only one way to find out. So we're going to put this in here. Pins are perfectly straight. Let's see how powerful arthritis is. Oh God. Yep, there you go. So that's in there. This will be taken out so I can use it on my BFG. What better way to test the compatibility of the 3000 than with a 3000? This is my current BFG9060 Revision 1 Revision 1 or 5, I forget, 68060 A3000 3.2.2.1, the one that I took off the MMU libraries from on its Zulu image. The reason I did that was because of the issues between the built-in whatever DMA science math, the built-in SCSI, it didn't work, and all sorts of problems. Perfect for 4000 with the BFG because there's no SCSI, no DMA to contend with. This, I believe, I forget, I have just a couple, has a Super Buster 11, and we're going to crack into this sucker and see what we get. Now first, I'm going to hook it up. We're going to do a baseline of what this is now, and then we'll compare it after we do the TerribleFire, and just to see who's a little better. Now I am not, for this purpose, testing the EHIDE.device. The EHIDE device is actually built in. Since this is a 3000, we're going to be using the Dr. Chris Belly Edition 3000 mouse. 2-button variety. Needs a bath, as does my crusty keyboard. This is the bench keyboard, so we'll leave it at that. So we're going to let it boot. That is the BFG's boot loader. You'll see that when it map ROMs and does a reset. And it should come up pretty daggone quick. There we go. 3.2.2.1 on the clock. We have 2 megs of chip and 143 megs of RAM. It has 128, 16 on the board, and 2 meg of chip. So as you can see, the CPU is a Motorola 68060, no fast ROM, cache burst, data burst, copy back, blah 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 blah. 68060 Rev 4 and science. And I'm just going to get a couple benchmarks. We'll do a sysinfo and some AIBB. So sysinfo 4.4. So I'm actually going to write this down because I'm scientific here. We're going to do a speed test. Now this has no FPU, it's an LC. So our dry stones is 37,647. That is dry stone per second. It's an older computer test, but still valid on the Amiga.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
39.29 million instructions per second, and flops is NA because we don't have an FPU, which is fine. Chip speed is 2.14 times an A600. I don't really give a crap about that. Built-in drives is the Zulu SCSI, and we're just going to hit speed 2.1 meg. So I'll say 2.2, okay? And it's a Zulu. You can see the 2 drives. Regardless of what this says, they're a little bit larger than what sysinfo will say. Memory on the board, so we have 128, so BFG9060, 128 megabyte. And then I have 12 megabytes on the board. I thought I had 16. I was wrong. 2 mega chip. AIBB results. Our comparison base will be the 3025. So all of my caches are on 060 copy back, instant data cache, MMU is on. 50 megahertz clock in the corner. This is standard math. Because I have no FPU, I can't do coprocessor math. I'm stuck on standard math. The yellows are FPU test, so I'm just going to do something stupid. EMU test is 72.32 simulated megahertz. Okay? Right pixel, that's graphic. I don't need to do that. Damn it. We'll do right pixel is 32974.59. Okay, that's boring crap. Alright, baseline. We're going to do Beach Ball, which is an FPU test, raw 060 horsepower. With an FPU, this thing will just go beep, and you can choose the faster libraries. It is 10.87 seconds. Okay, not bad for LC. Turn it off. What the heck? Now the fun part, because I agreed to do this test, is to take the 3000 all apart. That includes the drives, the drive tray. Everything's perfect. This is a completed unit and it's all put together and everything is just perfect. I do have 16 megs of RAM. I don't know why I was reporting 12. So I have full 16, but you know, that old chestnut. I do have this screwed in on pegs, so I'm going to remove the BFG. Now I like the BFG9060. Nothing wrong with it at all. And mine has a low profile fan, and it's great. Kavanaugh's build. Thank you, sir. Apologies about the argument going on upstairs. This is my Amiga 3000 in its stock form. And we're going to reuse this in the TerribleFire. So you want to make sure that you got your jumper set and everything's cool. Everything's cool. Now right now I have copied the MMU libraries to this card. This is on the built-in 030 as it was, 25 megahertz, nothing special. Okay, it's the stock Amiga 3000. So if I run the benchmarks, stock Amiga 3000, 12 megs of fast, 2 mega chip. So we see we're 0.92. I'm not even 1.0 on its own self. 4302, 449, 0.66, 2.88. That's nothing to shake a stick at. That is ECS stock as it comes. So I'm going to turn the Amiga off. I pulled up Mr. Allen's board on the open beta. This board is currently in open beta. Okay, it's not a final. Let me zoom in a little bit because I'm blind. You can buy this on Amiga. TF4060 is a 6860 accelerator for the 3.4 with DMA support. 256 megs of RAM, a software selectable CPU frequency, and an IDE interface. It supports the full 060 as well as the LC. Doesn't say EC. This board is currently in open beta. There's still bugs. Not possible that you can find everything during the development and testing phase. There's multiple possible hardware combinations that can exist in a 3000 or a 4000 system. You're encouraged to test the board. Furthermore, note the following conditions. The board is beta. There's going to be bugs. There will be firmware updates. Report any bugs, be patient, and there might be some hardware changes. They can do it for the cost of shipping if you cannot do them on your end. You can't sell this board for 6 months until the general availability happens, whichever comes first. You have 30 days to return your board. If you're posting, website, YouTube, you must state that the card is in open beta and things can change at any time, even regarding performance and behavior. It's in open beta. Alright, so open beta. My 3000 is set for internal FPU on. Most likely we'll have an internal-external combo or just all external. I'll read. There we go. Amiga 3000. So it's external, internal, FPU off, and external. And if you have a 16 megahertz, change it to 25. So we're going to do CPU clock 104, external, board clock, which is 104. I don't know, I can't see. 3? Position 1 and 2. That's internal. Alright, so that's internal. Alright, 103, which is FPU. 1 and 2, which is off. Okay, so FPU off in the 3000. Guess it's controlled by the 060 here. So the onboard 25 megahertz FPU is off. And of course the thing is, and then board clock J100. We want 3 and 4 external. Okay, so taking it off internal, moving it to external. So we have internal, external, external, off. 25, 25. Pissed off about my memory not showing up. Paid a lot of money for this RAM and only got 12 megs of it to show up. I'll have to do the zip test for Mr. Hooper to find out what's going on. We're going to put this card in. Now please remember, I do on this image have MMU libraries copied. That's the ultimate test for an Amiga 3000. With the BFG I have to delete them or I get crashes in Workbench and everything else. You'll notice they're almost exact opposites. The BFG, the CPU is in the top left where you can actually get some air. And on the TF4060 it's in the lower right where there is none. Even if you have a 60 mil or 40 mil fan blowing across, it will help. You're going to need a heatsink if you're going to run this balls to the wall. Here we go. Energize. Only floppy I have is the GoTech, and it's nothing in it. Low high, monitor, SCSI. Rev 6, 68060. To make sure my jumpers are correct, I'm putting my finger on my built-in 030, and damn, that booted quick. Alright, first off, CPU. I'm going to issue a new shell, and we're going to type CPU. I'm going to make sure this is a real Rev 6. CPU 68060 Rev 6 Superscaler. Awesome.
Hoo-ah!
So we can issue a CPU speed command. So we're going to do CPU speed. CPU speed. Okay. Serial 4060. Firmware TF4060 revision 5. 2024 July 22nd. Speed 50 megahertz. Alright. We're going to do CPU speed. Speed equals 100. Fa-boom. 100 megahertz. Speed. Now let's see what these numbers crank. 100 megahertz. Good Gugga Mugga. 75, 321 compared to the 376, 47. 142 times faster. It's 4 times faster than a 040. 16 times faster than itself. 78 MIPS compared to 39 on the BFG. 5603 compared to didn't have any. Wow. 2.01, 2.01. 256 megs of RAM, 12 megs of mine, 2 meg of my chip. Incredible. 060, 882. It says warping. That is badass. I'm going to touch the chip. Actually, it's not even hot. Like, I can hold my hand on here. And I'm not like being strongman. It's not hot. Where's my Luke Skywalker? I lost it. I had my Luke Skywalker orange temperature checker, dude. So China FLIR. Focus, you ass. 97.2 Fahrenheit is 44.3 on the old communist scale. Right in the middle of the bullseyes are bulls. Yeah, right in the middle there. Alright, so I'm sold. This is only a beta. I'm going to pick myself up one of these. Why? Because it works SCSI, MMU libs, 100 megahertz. I know the BFG can do 100 too. 256 megs of RAM. I mean, that's incredible. And the SCSI works. And I get IDE that I'm not going to use, but you got it. Maybe on the 4000 I'd use it because the 4000's IDE is ass if best. All right, let's run some AIBB. Let it stress test a little bit. 99.9 because it doesn't go to 100. Full blown mofo. We're going to do. Here we go. Here's the beach ball. Oh yeah, 0.73 seconds compared to 10. EMU test, 72.32 is the BFG. 152.1. Holy crap. Right pixel is 32,974. This is graphics, so I think this is just Denise. 440,384. So better. And we did EMU test. We did that one. Beach ball 1087. Beach ball here is 0.73. Now it's using 040 math, but still, that is freaking incredible. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Stephen Leary, you're awesome. Thank you. If there was an Amiga award, you'd get one. You absolutely need to install the MMU library package from Aminet. It contains the 68060 libraries necessary to run the CPU. That is what I'm running. You absolutely need to install the soft triple IE package from Aminet. Links available if you're using an LC. Okay, no problem. IDE interface is functional, and EHIDE.device is part of the card. No more custom ROM images. She's built right in, guys. Plug in and you're rocking. Change your HD toolbox SCSI device name equals EHIDE.device. HD toolbox will just work. Please note, don't use a Kingston compact flash card because it screws up. A fix is available on a firmware 4252 Alpha 06. You can use his TF4060 disk image to boot from the TF4060. Contains all the CPU libraries. A quick way to get you started. Just a small boot image. If you have Kickstart 3.2, you might need to copy the icon library if you're using his disk image. Fan headers, firmware updates are done through a RPI02W. Plug into its header. Follow the instructions to set up your RPI follow the instructions on this page to set up your PI for firmware updates. Oops. Click here. Up. CPU speed. Holy God, I'm 255 megahertz. Wow. All right. Let's put this back down. It won't go lower than 100. All right, let me turn off. On a fresh boot, I want to see what the stock speed is. It should be back to 50. Stock speed is 50. This is firmware R5. I'm turning it off. So that's my quick review. This is a beta. It's an open beta card, so you're gonna have weird issues. I am tickled pink more than I love purple with this card. My phone's going off because everybody's excited about the photos I've been sending. Alright, this is with MU libs. Let's see if sysinfo is any faster. 10.87 seconds was the old beach ball time on the BFG. 10.65, so slightly faster. EMU test with MMU libs. 74.77. We were 72.32. So a little faster. Two simulated megahertz is faster. Right pixel, we were 32.974.59, 32.527.12. Lower is better. So slightly better. EMU test, I was 72.32. What did I say this was? 74.77, so 2 megahertz faster. Sweet. I mean, it's working. Doesn't like that 68060 speed. Okay, 37.596. We were 37.647 on the dry stones before. Same CPU. 39.24 to 39.29. 2.01 to 2.2. Hard drive speed shouldn't matter because it's using the same SCSI bus. Memory has 256 megs of 32-bit MoFo. My 12 megs, my 2 megs. Sweet. Phone me now. Drives, nothing's going to change. Roughly 2.1 meg per second. That's my crappy card. That is the Zulu that I'm on. 2.19, I say 2.2. DH1 for a drive comparison, 30 buffers. A lot slower speed, 2.178. You'll notice I'm 1024 block size. If you want more speed, crank up your block size. I'm 4K on that one. 4K clusters, 1024 on these other two. 300 buffers. You figure this will be fast, but it's not. This is the internal Amiga SCSI bus. I'm happy to see that this card is working with it. Kickstart 47111, that's 3.2.2. something. Yeah, 3.2.2 kickstart, and running 3221 68060, and she's rolling. And the benefit of the TerribleFire versus the BFG, number one, the TerribleFire gives you more memory. It gives you an onboard IDE header with the ehide.device. The CPLD on this gets pretty toasty, hence the Raspberry Pi heatsink I keep pulling my finger off of because it is pretty warm. You're going to want a fan on your girl or something in the 3000 blowing it across. If you're at a 4000, get yourself a nice CPU fan, and hopefully you have enough air movement in there to keep her cool. A quick review of the test with the 3000 with MMU libs. TerribleFire TF4060. It even tells you on the back what jumpers to choose from. I'm sorry if it doesn't focus. There's going to be firmwares for these. You can update them with a Raspberry Pi. Zap, boop, bop, beep, and you got new firmware. So no more crazy Xilinx programmer and bitching about the cable not being found or the device driver. Raspberry Pi, card, put the card in, turn it on, flashes. So there's going to be updates and support for Mr. Leary for this, I guess, for a little while until his rocket science super brain comes up with something else. Awesome idea. So Stephen, cheers to you. Thank you for what you do for the community. You are an invaluable treasure, as is everyone who does hardware and stuff. So that's all I got for now. Thanks for coming along on this quick test of the TerribleFire TF4060. If you're interested in getting one and I find out who's selling them, I know Mr. Alan Marks in the old Canada, and several people, including Mr. Hertel, I believe, Stephen Leary himself, probably, I don't know, over in the Eurozone, and I don't know if I find, yep, I'll put it in the description below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?